Hello there. Welcome to the Strength of Materials video lectures. In this video lectures, we will try to learn what is the stress. In order to define the stress, we need to understand a few basic fundamentals. The first one, how the equilibrium condition it is achieving. The second one, how the stress is going to be distributing within the member. And the third one, how the internal forces, the resistance forces are developing. And if you are able to understand these 3 points, we can able to define what is the stress. As we know that the engineering materials or any materials we can take it, the physically existed in the world, when we are applying the force on a particular member, it starts to elongate or it may be contract. That depends on the force we are applying. Because in this case, I have taken one circular rod. There we can see the circular rod length is going to be the L, and the cross section is going to be I have taken in the circular direction. That means circular cross section I have taken. At the same time, I made to subject it to the two forces, that means two axial forces which is passing to the neutral axis of the member, that's the P and P towards the left side, and that means the member is going to be subject to the pull force or the tensile forces. Then because of these forces, the member is going to be start to elongate. We have to assume that part. So then what will happen? The elongation is going to be may existed like this. Then in this case, the length of the object is going to be start elongating. At the same time, the cross section of this member is going to be start to shrinking. Right? In this case, what will happen? So there we can see these kind of elongations, we can take the rubber. So then you start to elongate. That elongation is more evident, more visible to the naked eyes, how the strength is, that means elongation is taking. But the same force, if you are applying for the steel or the iron materials, that is not more evident. It means that the elongation is not visible. If you want to see that elongations, we need to apply more amount of the forces on that member, then only the elongation able to see. Right? In this case, then how it is maintaining the equilibrium condition. There we can see, if you want to see the equilibrium conditions, then I want to make it the section of this part. That means I want to make this the member. Suppose this end is going to be the A and the B. I'm going to be calling this bar is going to be AB. I want to make it the section. So then what will happen? I'm going to be making here. The section part is going to be like this. XX I'm going to be considering. So because of this section plane, then automatically it will make the two parts. There we can see. So this is going to be your left part, right? And this is going to be your right part. As we know that the member is going to be subjected to the one is going to be the left side force, and here is going to be the right side force. Then how we can maintain the object is in the equilibrium conditions. There we can see when we are applying the load at initial stage, it is not going to be elongating. It means that some of the internal forces are going to be generating. So then what will happen when I'm going to be separating? So then what happened? The force is going to be acting on the member, suppose A here. So then the internal forces that I'm going to be show over here in this direction. It means if you want to keep the section A specifically in the equilibrium condition, that means whatever the external force is acting here, that internal forces also must be developed the same amount. That's going to be the P. And similarly to the right conditions, the right part, the force P is going to be acting towards the right side. At the same time, when this position is going to be, this is going to be the P force is going to be acting. It means that the internal forces, this is going to be the suppose P dash, if I am going to be considering, the P is equal to the P dash. The P dash is going to be your internal forces, that magnitude and the line of action and the direction is going to be opposite to your applied loads. That means the same magnitude it is going to have, but it is applying in the opposite direction. Then the body is going to be in the equilibrium condition. Right? See, when it is going to be in the one member, this is going to be reflecting like internal forces. But once you make the section, then what happens? It will make the two equal parts. That means the internal forces has converted into the external forces. That internal resistance forces is developing, that is equal to the externally applied forces. So this way we can understand what is the equilibrium condition of that system, right? At the same time, suppose after certain duration of the time, I am removing the load. That means the load whatever I applied on this member, it will become 0. Then the P is equal to 0. So then what will happen? So the elongation, whatever the amount is got the elongation, then what happened? Once the P is going to be removed, that means the P is equal to 0 here and here is going to be 0. So then what will happen? The P dash and the P dash. So here whatever the P dash we do have, that as the internal force, that is also going to be 0. Can you see? The internal resistance forces are going to be developing due to the external forces. If external forces are going to be 0, internal forces also going to be 0. So then what happened? The body will going to be come back its original position. So that the state we are going to be called elastic state. Suppose if your applied the force is going to be more than the internal resistance force, suppose the P is going to be greater than P dash. So then what will happen? Whatever the shape or the dimension elongation is going to be taking place, it never come back its original position. Then we can say that stage is going to be your plastic stage. Right? So I hope you are able to understand how it is achieving the equilibrium condition, then the definition of what is the elasticity and the plasticity, how we are achieving. Because of this, external forces, internal forces will going to be defined. Right? So in the next level, we will see how the stresses are going to be distributing within this member. So here, try to understand how the stress distribution is going to be existed. At the A, the B, or any section of the length of the member. There we can see that is the Saint-Venant's principle we are going to be applying. The first I am going to be trying to apply at the cross section. This is the forces we are going to be applying, right? And then how the stress distribution existed at the middle of this part. Suppose for this one I am going to be taking over here, that is the left portion of this member. And suppose we are going to be, the load is going to be applied here. So we are trying to understand how the internal stresses or internal resisting forces are going to be developing here. So then what will happen in this case? Already we told that is going to be the resultant force is going to be acting, that is the P dash, that is equal to the P is equal to P dash. But in actually this is going to be internal resultant forces it's going to be. But in actual cases it's going to be representing like this. So can you see? So these are going to be, that means the forces, internal forces are going to be existed at this section is going to be uniform. That means in terms of the magnitude, in terms of the direction, it is going to be uniformly existed. That means at the middle. But when it comes to at A, suppose the same member I am going to be taking over here, right? And here it is going to be, already we applied the force. But the stresses developing at A, it may not be the uniform, but it is completely uncertainty is going to be existed over here. So that means the outer fiber, suppose this is going to be your neutral axis. So these outer fibers are going to be subjected to the less loads, neutral axis are going to be subjecting to here less, that means the loads. Can you see the cross section? That means at A, that's going to be uncertainty is going to be existed. But when we are going to be taking here, the stresses are going to be completely uniform. So this way we are going to be applying this, the Saint-Venant's principle, to understand how the distribution is going to be existed at each section of this member. We are assuming that that's going to be uniformly distributed throughout the length of the member, suppose at the section. But at the end where we are applying the load, so that stress may not be the uniformly distributed. So from this one, I would like to define what is the stress. So with this explanation, I am trying to define what is the stress here with the simple sentences. So that means the internal resistance developed by the body over the unit area of its cross section is called stress or intensity of the stress. There we can see here the internal resistance developed. What is the internal resistance here? That is equal to P is equal to P dash. The P I given the notation for applied load, and P dash I given for the internal resistance in our explanation. That's going to be your internal resistance force, that's going to be your P dash developed by the body over unit area. So that means, can you see here? So the length, this is going to be your unit area. That's going to be, suppose this is going to be the diameter D is going to be there. Okay, so then this area of this cross section, that is equal to pi by 4 d square we are going to be taking. Clear? So that is going to be the cross sectional area. That means when the load is going to be acting, this surface is always normally to the applied force. So then we can say that's going to be unit area of its cross section is called stress or intensity of the stresses. So most of the time in strength of the materials, we are not calculating the strength of that part. We are calculating the stress of that member, then we can consider that's going to be strength of the member. I hope you are able to understand the concepts of what is the stress. So to understand this concept of the stress, first we need to understand what is the mechanism behind the equilibrium condition is going to be existing. The second one is going to be how the internal stresses are going to be building throughout the member, right? So then finally we are going to be defining what is the stresses. So thank you. Still you feel any difficulty, please put in the comment section so that I can reach out to you. Thank you.